Howard P. Wigglebottom Learns to Listen by Howard Binkow and Reverend Anna. We are going to be talking about listening for the next couple of weeks and different aspects of listening and why listening is important and how we listen. So this is a great book for us to get started with. I want you to think about what does Howard learn during the book and why is it important? Meet Howard B. Wigglebottom. Howard is always in trouble at school because, well, Howard just doesn't listen. During story time, instead of quietly listening, Howard bounces around the room. Howard B. Wigglebottom, please sit down and be quiet and listen. But Howard doesn't listen. Howard B. Wigglebottom, you are bouncing too close to the fan. But Howard doesn't listen. At lunchtime, his friends try to warn him. Hey, Howard, watch your step. But Howard doesn't listen. After lunch, Howard's friend tries to tell him something important. Blah, 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 blah. But Howard doesn't listen. On the playground, Howard's teammates try to help him. Keep your eye on the ball, Howard. But Howard doesn't listen. Boink! Oh. In the art room, the teacher reminds the class, kids, try to keep the paint on your paper. But Howard doesn't listen. So the teacher asks him to take a time out. He feels sad. Howard does not like being alone and in trouble. He thinks and thinks about his day. Howard makes up his mind. From that moment on, he will try very hard to be the best listener he can be. The next day, Howard does listen during story time. He waits for his turn to talk, then asks a question about the story. Howard gets a big star because Howard is really listening. While walking home, Howard uses both his eyes and his ears to stay safe. Howard is really listening. When Howard gets home, he listens to his mother. Please hang up your backpack and clean your room up now. Okay, Mom. Howard is really listening. So Howard gets extra time to play and have fun. Awesome ears, Howard. Howard B. Wigglebottom is really listening. Time for bedtime story. Please brush your teeth first, Howard. Almost all of the time. Can you listen when you're sleeping? It's kind of hard to listen when you're sleeping, huh? So, what does Howard learn in our story today? He learns to listen. So he learns to sit quietly, use both his eyes and his ears to help him listen, to not interrupt and wait his turn to talk, to try his very best to understand the person speaking. He asks questions if he doesn't understand, and he pays attention. That means to be alert and to really know what is happening around you. This week, you are going to work on being a listener. Okay, you've got a listening activity to do with a big person, so you have fun with that.